Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Good evening and a warm welcome to everyone. On behalf of the Center of Graduate Studies, Unit 10, and the Master in Energy Management Program, it is my pleasure to welcome all participants to tonight's ESCM Industry Insight Series 2026. Today's sharing session is entitled Renewable Energy Project Development in Malaysia, Integrating Risk Mapping and Regulatory Framework for ASEAN Power Grid. As we know that the transition towards renewable energy is no longer an option but a necessity. As Malaysia moves towards a more sustainable energy future, understanding project risk, regulatory requirements and regional energy integration has become increasingly important for industry practitioners, researchers and students alike. We are truly honored to have an experienced industry leader with us this evening to share his valuable knowledge and practical insights. Our distinguished speaker tonight is IR Muhammad Khairudin bin Abdullah, currently serving as the General Manager of the Renewable Energy Division at MCOP Group Berhad. IR Khairudin has more than 20 years of experience in the energy sector. Throughout his career, he has led numerous renewable energy, solar, hydro and gas turbine projects, bringing extensive expertise in project management, infrastructure development and strategic planning. Prior to joining MCOP, he served as Program Director at MITE, where he spearheaded strategy initiatives in renewable energy, smart grids, energy efficiency and national energy policy. Academically, he holds a Master of Environmental Engineering from University Putra Malaysia and a Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering from University Putra Malaysia. He is also a corporate member of the Institution of Engineers Malaysia and a member of the Board of Engineers Malaysia. Participants, please join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to our distinguished speaker, IR Muhammad Khairudin Abdullah. Without further ado, I would like to invite IR Khairudin to deliver his presentation. The virtual floor is yours, IR Khairudin.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good evening everybody. Firstly, thank you so much Miss Azura for the kind introduction. So, how's the volume so far? Everything audio, is it all okay?
Yeah, so far okay.
Alright, good. Alright, I'm Khairudin. I'm honored to be with you guys for tonight. Okay, expected will be on air around 1 hour, but we take some break so that I know some students may need to break for whatever reason. And I'm delightful also to share the knowledge whatever I have with you guys. Maybe you guys also have better knowledge, blah 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 like that. And I see now it's actually around 26 participants. I try my best to share, and I know you guys also may have a lot of other experience also. So let's see how we can do this analysis, or maybe we kind of sharing the knowledge lah with you guys. All right. For me, I appreciate if everybody jot down in the chat box their name, also as part of the attendance. At least I hope I'm doing justice to. Oh, chat isn't available, but it's okay. It's okay. So long you guys, I think, key in the attendance, blah blah. I'm very happy about that. All right, a bit about myself. Okay, maybe I can share the slide here. All right, from myself, okay, on this workshop series Master Energy Management. First of all, I congratulate you guys to continue your master. I hope it's going to be completed on time. GOT, blah blah. All right, and then for today, it's actually I would love to share renewable energy project development in Malaysia. But maybe I would attempt adjacent to Malaysia, which is maybe some Thailand, because I'm going to touch about ASEAN Power Grid. And then every day do renewable energy project development. It take me quite some time for me to decide the title. I want to make sure align with you guys as a younger student compared to myself, so that you guys also align with AI like that. In fact, to be frank, I also learning right on this AI, because during my undergrad and master I don't have AI, but I think you guys have that privilege to do AI, and we see what we can share together lah. All right. Looking in this context, renewable energy project development, every day we will love to do renewable energy project because it's a transition energy. It's not conventional energy, which is coal oriented. We also looking at renewable energy as clean energy, as green energy project. However, we would love to get you guys also try to look on the risk mapping, because for any project, we would love to check the risk. Why risk is being chosen? Because you have technical risk as commercial risk. Okay, this is why my justification to choose for this particular topic. Any project, let's say with my organization now, we wanted to have project which is bankable, but they will ask how the risk appetite, how's the risk metric during project, before project, and post project the risk. After that, they will always talk to you why we did this project. Maybe for all of us, not really a fresh graduate, mid manager level, or maybe senior manager level, or more experienced than myself, we always talk about regulatory framework. So why govern this project? Is it because of, let's say, COP, or maybe ASEAN Power Grid? That's how we regulate the project. All right, I was given for 1 hour, but I try to break in between, perhaps, and I would love to see what we can share among us. All right, I may on and off listen to you guys also, and I welcome you guys also. If you wanted to ask me, just voice out any question, I try to answer. Okay, perhaps at the end of the session we will see how the renewable energy project development in Malaysia, and then risk mapping and strategic decision making. People will say, all right, you are engineers, you are managers, you do project, all right, lovely, but how's the risk mapping and how to lead towards strategic decision making? Maybe we are going to do the risk profiling. So it's actually well informed and structured method of doing decision. All right. After that, we talk about regulatory framework. We need to know what's happening within ASEAN. Okay, here I wanted to put some disclaimer. I would love to touch more on ASEAN Power Grid and a little bit on the Borneo Grid, but the thing which I didn't share here, but I would love all of us to make well known, is actually through OBOR, One Belt, One Road initiative. All right, those things you can try to Google yourself on the One Belt, One Road initiative. That's how the world being connected in terms of energy. And then after that, opportunities and challenges in the ASEAN Power Grid. Why I'm talking ASEAN? Because now it's concurrent and in parallel with Malaysian as the ASEAN Chairmanship. Okay, next. Okay, this is the project title, the workshop title, Renewable Energy Project Development in Malaysia. We have to integrate risk mapping and regulatory framework for ASEAN Power Grid. As I mentioned just now, I would love also to explore beyond ASEAN Power Grid, which is Borneo Grid in the Malaysian context. Okay, if you can see here, ASEAN energy demand 2030 to 2040, this is incline. Okay, the figure is being shown there. Is actually beyond 2040. Why this thing influx? People will say, all right, you got the data, but why? The reason behind that. Okay, it's driven by population growth, industrialization, digital economy, and electric mobility. If you see in Malaysia as well as Indonesia, I'm just back from neighboring countries also last week. Okay. I saw this particular country a lot of EV now, and a lot of data center being built. So that's how the energy demand being increased. Okay, I also had a chance to meet ASEAN Center of Energy. So the director spell out ASEAN is the engine of the growth for the energy center. Okay. Why ASEAN Power Grid needs more reliable? Yeah, decarbonization commitment. ASEAN Net Zero aspiration. If you see, every countries actually have their own commitment. Malaysian net zero different with compared to Indonesia, compared to Thailand. So everybody have to respect. This one tied to GDP, GNI, all those sort of parameters. Okay, energy security play a crucial role. Somehow, if we are building a lot of power plant, it can be a threat also to country, but it also can be a so-called like power factor for the countries. Meaning to say, let's say it's well connected from north to south, um, then they rely the grid network, which is Malaysia in the peninsula. Okay, in the context of we have north is Thailand, Laos, like that, but the downside is the south part is actually the Indonesia and the Singapore. And then cost competitiveness. Okay, we are always being compared with neighboring countries, ASEAN, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, even how the tariff per unit price being charged. And then we talk about LCOE. I believe you study also levelized cost of energy between gas turbine, solar, all this sort of thing is different tariff. And for us to bring the foreign direct investment versus domestic investment, the tariff is very important, which tie to the cost competitiveness in terms of capex plus opex. And then cross-border connectivity, ASEAN Power Grid enable sharing of clean energy across the region. So this is a cross-border selling electricity. I hope all of us, not just during this workshop, but future ahead is well connected, and we start learning on the cross-border connectivity. Okay, why Malaysia? Okay, as I told you, Malaysia is well strategic position. We have Straits of Malacca, we have South China Sea here, and then we have also Sumatra, we have Java Island, and also connected to um, Philippines here. Okay, ring of fire is very important for us to have a look. Okay, any power plant we must consider ring of fire. It's a earthquake around the equator, and this tie to risk metric, because once the risk is high, the insurance premium will be higher if you want to build the power plant. All right, so we can see as what I try to show the, okay, this one, the laser pointer. Okay, here we have the Borneo side, solar, renewable, hydro. And for your info, Malaysia is always in talking with the Indonesian counterpart to develop the Borneo Island on the hydro, especially, right? This is where my project company is actually looking at as well. Okay, next. Okay, renewable energy potential in Malaysia. Okay, we have abundant resources. God is very, very generous, honoring us with this renewable hydropower, the backbone of RE in Sarawak. We have Bakun, we have Murum, and we have Batang Ai. Okay, I visited Bakun earlier, Murum as well as Batang Ai. We wanted to develop more of this scale of hydropower, but we also have to comply with the IHA. That's another framework that we have to comply, International Hydropower Association, where Sarawak Energy is one of the important members in the IHA. For your info, maybe you guys can also Google what is IHA doing. They're doing very good. I believe Uniten also very active in the IHA together with ICO. And then solar energy is floating solar, utility scale. Floating solar is the next generation where they have better panel that anti-rust and anti-corrosive and can withstand the seawater. I think Unit 10 and TMB also doing a lot of research on this one. We at MCOP and as well as MBank with my organization, where I attach to now, we did have not just project development per se, but we also involved with a lot of financing on the renewable energy. All right, utility scale is actually ground mounted. Okay, however, the risk here is actually on the siltation plus soil erosion. So, rule of thumb, 1 megawatt will go for around 4 acres of land. So that's the risk where we have to take care in terms of siltation pond, in terms of drainage, or maybe in terms of soil erosion. So this is important. I think if you guys Malaysian or maybe came from worldwide also around the globe, you see a lot of solar panels farm that not well maintained, they degrade faster. That means the plant decay faster. So the efficiency drop, the plant performance drop. This is no good for the bankability aspect. At the end of the day, they might not able to serve the loan. And then that's why a lot of players, venture capitalists came in to acquire the plant, which is at very high discount value. This is not fair for the players that are not very well versed because they pay a cheap price at the capex, but the opex overrun. So to all of you guys, I do hope we are being fair to the plant and to the organization where we work. We take care the balance between capex as well as opex. Okay, talking about biomass and biogas. Okay, this is always untapped, but we have to do the, let's say for wood chips, we have to jive with sustainable forestry practice. Okay, if not, we chop so many timbers without replanting. This is not really right. Then we got the risk of what? Being penalty by the Department of Energy, Department of Forestry, and then I think I would love to share the importance of FMU lah, Forest Management Unit. Okay, I hope we are getting after at the end of the session. Okay, people we know, all right, this DOE scope, this is FMU Forestry Department, and then we also have the insurance compensation, because if you got the big landslide whatever, the insurance people will run away from you. That's my task actually. I have to make sure I've tabled a project that is not just doable, but insurance will be able to come and continuously insure our plant. Sometimes this insurance underwriter, they know our plant is very risky or whatever, they will run away. This is not good for the project. All right. Okay, next. Okay, in Malaysia, is Malaysia and Sarawak ready to power ASEAN sustainability? I think the answer here is actually through an equation. We must have hydropower, we must have solar energy, we must have biomass and biogas, and then the strategic impact, which is equivalent to sustainable energy future. I know this equation hardly for people to tabulate lah, but I try to toy this idea. Why I say hydropower? Because sometimes it serves as a base load for us. Some hydropower it just serves as the peak load. This hydropower as a base load is very important because it runs 24/7. To me, as an engineer, as a Muslims, I need to take care of the Mother Earth. Once we take care of the Mother Earth, I think our life will be well blessed lah in this life and hereafter. Taking care of the hydropower plant is actually taking care of the world ecosystem. We must do the hydropower project. Let's say the one which we are looking now. Okay, for your info, under MCOP we have 2 hydropower plants, and then we also have solar farms project. But we also finance a lot of renewable energy project and other energy related projects through our banks. Okay, this is hydropower. We take care of the ecosystem because you know the precipitation, once we have a very good water runoff river like that, then the ecosystem is well taken care in the jungle. Okay, solar energy, we wanted to develop more solar energy. I believe same goes to you guys, but the best sustainable engineering practice must be there. Best BAT, best available technology, best engineering practice. Maybe you can Google also best engineering practice, best available technology. This is the right practice. Everybody want to do project and a lot of R&D program, but please do it in the proper manner and sustainable manner. It's our obligation. We want to do a good practice, a good service to our mother nature. Be a good engineer, or maybe be a good finance people, be a good manager. Don't want to be greedy, giving a lot of disaster to the mother earth. All right, and then biomass and biogas is all about waste to wealth. All right, whatever I also want to promote this one because of, you see, like We have the biogas in Malaysia, but we need to have more from the wastewater treatment plant, maybe from the, let's say, now we have the initiative of water treatment plant to put the solar on top of that. But we have to be careful because we don't want to disturb the ecological part. I think Uniten also did a lot of research to make sure underneath the solar panel, we take care the biological plankton, this type of flora and fauna underneath the seawater level. All right. And then the strategy impact, as I mentioned just now, we need to have a very good smart grid. I think smart grid, you guys know, Malaysia is championing well on the smart grid. Um, I last time, during my time at TMB also, previously, we did have this ASEAN Smart Grid conference. I always join and I do encourage you guys, not necessary for you to be an engineer to join the ASEAN Smart Grid Network. Even an accountant, even a lawyer, you guys can participate so that you understand what's happening with the ASEAN Smart Grid Initiative. And then this is how I put the ecosystem. We have the sustainable energy future for Malaysia, Sarawak, and ASEAN. Okay, you guys must be asking why I didn't touch about Sabah. Huh? Actually, in Sabah also we are very aggressive doing the project, but we must give more room because I think Sarawak is one of the energy large power consumers. We need to tie to more in terms of geographical connected well to the Borneo side. Okay, this is how I view the Borneo grid connected as well as ASEAN power grid. Okay, this ASEAN power grid we need to derive on the low carbon energy transition. Okay, next, okay, I want to soft touch about the real challenge, the site risk. As I mentioned just now, okay, key environmental and geotechnical risk. Okay, environmental is actually we have to comply with EIA, environmental impact assessment, environmental management protection, environmental management plan. These are the environmental engineer that have to work hand in hand with the mechanical engineers, chemical engineers, even electrical engineers must give a lot of feedback. No point we build the big power plant but damaging the environmental. Okay, we can see a lot of these plants that not well monitored. At the end of the day, the decay rate is rapidly degrading. That is not good because during operation, insurance people will come and see how the plant performance. All right. If you want to sell now a lot of merger and acquisition in the PLC, public limited company, GLC, SLC, they would love to check on the plant healthiness index. All right. So key environmental and geotech, we take care on the flood zone. This one we have to be closely monitored. Now we have, I think maybe you guys one of you may be coming from Nahrim. During my time last time, I worked closely with Nahrim. I worked closely with JPS. I work closely with JPS is the ID, Department of Irrigation. I work closely with the even town planner. We don't want to build a solar farm or hydro plant which damage the flora and fauna. Okay, the landslide is important. Before the landslide happen, or maybe you do the civil engineer, cut and fill project, cut and fill of the earthwork, check on the landslide risk. If it's the landslide is too risky, we may need to get the structure engineer to be on board. No point we do the project but we don't consult the right parties of the discipline. Let's consult them. Soil erosion is very important. Erosion in Indonesia, they have this tingkat bahaya erosion, because long term this erosion will cost you the siltation, will cost you the landslide also. So get the erosion hazard level and protect the catchment areas So make sure the long-term project sustainability. For your info, power purchase agreement in the power plant can go in the range of let's say solar 25 years. Hydro now, they last time is actually 30 years. Now they stretch to 40 years. So we must make sure, okay, what is the parameters that we would like to consider so that the soil erosion is well taken care. All right, in the middle, we see the Sarawak site map. Okay, this one humbly, I would like to declare as even as a mechanical engineer, and then I also have some info knowledge about the environmental engineering. I consulted the geotech engineer to make sure the soil risk is well taken care. I wanted to emphasize here, we cannot be so proud of our knowledge. We have to consult others also. We have to consult geologists also. Let's say you want to build a dam. I also undergo how dam be constructed. Is it a field or maybe concrete field? But at the end of the day, we have to check the soil type. Either is being sit on the limestone, which is brittle, or maybe is being sit on the valley, which suppress the water catchment area. So these are the parameters I can say to you. It's one of the example where we need to consult others also. It's a team effort actually. So high flood risk, if we don't design well, this high flood risk can cause a nightmare. And at the end of the day, we have to pay a lot of premium on the force majeure. Okay, even it's natural disaster, but it can cause a very, very big nightmare to the population, which is, let's say, for the cascading power hydro side, we have the upper and we have the lower power scheme. So we don't want to flood the people at the end of the day, wash away all the resident villages. This is not right lah. Okay. And then risk management framework, people will talk also. What's the risk management? Okay. Normally for myself, I used for the reference, and during the project meeting, I will always refer to 31,000 ISO risk. I also highly encourage you guys, apart from ISO 14,000, ISO 9,000, as an engineer, it's also advisable for ISO 31,000. Okay, they have this principle of the risk, integration, evaluation, and improvement. I think maybe since you guys master student, PDCA lah, basically plan, do, check, and act lah. Okay, let's say they found the project, have the risk, they found the solution, and how to mitigate short term, medium term, and long term lah. And all these risks, it come with the price. Okay, once trigger the risk, the higher you have to pay the premium lah. And we need to talk nicely to the insurance arranger, insurance brokerage house, or maybe underwriter. Okay, at certain extent, we need to justify to them. Nobody knows everything. All right, we have to justify to them. We have to discuss with them. Okay, what's the risk metric and how much we should buy the insurance premium. Okay, risk TCOP metric. Okay, this is how if you study the risk, normally at any organization we have risk manager, or we have this risk division department. Okay, I as an engineer normally I apply with the TCOPS. What is TCOPS actually? TCOPS stand for technical, economics, commercial, operational, political, as well as social parameters. So we need to tabulate. There will be a 3 set of TCOPS metric before project, and then during project, and post project. So get the TCOPS metric done. If you have very, very high metric of red, that means the project you need to take care. Example, you do this 3 set of the TCOPS, found like the project risk metric TCOPS, a lot of red during the construction, then you have to alert, because of the project might be stuck there. So it's a very big topic actually on the risk metric. We can explore further. We can get somebody on the risk engineer also to talk about this one. But in principle, that's how I can share with you. Pre-project, during project, and post-project on the risk metric. Okay. Any project which have more than risk in terms of red colors, the bankers normally will run away. So that's the consequences, right? Okay. Apart from that, all of us, I think you guys younger than myself, perhaps then more AI generation, we need to do the data-driven project development. Nowadays, everything is on either on cloud or you can subscribe to a few softwares, which my company also subscribe to a few software to check on the, let's say for the resource assessment. I always check on the arena data, or maybe in Malaysia context, we have SEDA, Suruhanjaya Tenaga, Energy Commission, all those Malaysian energy supply, Malaysian electricity supply industry, all those handbook, get ourselves to be very friendly lah with those data so that we can defend well. And then risk screening using GIS. I think congratulations and kudos to Uniten also. They are very well advanced on the GIS using a various satellite. We are going to overlay multiple hazard layers, flood, and which one is flood first, and then erosion, and then landslide. Or maybe at the end of the day, we are going to decide, okay, we have to do a lot of diversion of the channels or pipe or maybe transmission network. So this is also important that we have to bear in mind. Diversion of any single inch will cost maybe thousands or millions of costs for the capex. Okay, so these are the parameters that um, I believe we need to spend more extra time on planning rather than mitigating the damage. All right, FMU, this is what I mentioned just now. I strongly emphasize on the FMU, Forest Management Unit. Okay, everybody do a project, but not necessary for all project you need to do the land clearing, forest clearing like that. Wherever class 1, class 2 forest, I personally also still learning. Class 1 you can't touch, but class 2 you can touch, but you also need to inform the forest department. Because if we encroach into this forest, at the end of the day we can get sued. And sued is actually you building a very bad track record where the insurer will run away from you. Then you don't comply with the framework of the FMU, Forest Management Unit, that being gazetted. That means we breach the rules and regulation, and the SOP which we didn't comply normally come with the penalty lah. All right, regulatory approval. Okay, consult them. Sometimes people say, oh, this is a lot of restriction. It's not a restriction. There must be a reason why every single initiative being outlined with rules and regulation. Sometimes they want to take care the species that being protected, okay, all those flora and fauna, and then we wherever being relocated or resettlement of the community, we must be honest. Okay, a good engineer is just a normal engineer, but the great engineer will come with a package of honesty, and we need to consult everybody lah. It's always work as a team lah. Okay, data-driven project development. Okay, everything normally as an engineer, we need to talk with accountant, the finance people, the legal people, the regulatory, talk about the resource assessment, risk screening, boundary check. Why this thing happen? Because we want to make sure regulatory approval is compliance. At the end of the day, our project will be bankable, resilient, and sustainable projects. Okay, we need to take care of the environment very well. Okay, next, okay, I would like to bring you guys, just now it's a bit on theory, but this is one of my related project lah, alright. I didn't involve directly with this project. There's a big disclaimer, okay, but I would like to emphasize that everybody need to know on the, let's say we are doing the hydropower, big dam, we will do this simulation for our project, referring to this Kenyir Dam. Is a big congratulation to TMB as well as Uniten. They do this risk on dam project break simulation for 24 hours or 12 hours event. How many areas of the flooding up to what's the kilometer radius. So I believe some of you guys had experience before where a very big issue in the country about the flooding happen in Kenyir area or maybe in Bentong area. So a good engineer is actually can be a better engineer if we plan well. So anticipate the risk is not to be a paranoid, but it's good to be well prepared. Better safe than sorry lah. So that's how I view things. All right, get things and start learning on the GIS. Okay, doesn't mean we have master, we have a degree or even PhD later or sooner. We know everything lah. So let's talk about other people's expertise. Okay, as I mentioned just now, risk mitigation, it come with technology lah nowadays. We use LiDAR. Nowadays, we also have drone technology. But I think that's the good engineer. But the great engineer normally which able to analyze and synthesis, find the right synthesis of the finding from the data. So last time, maybe we say, okay, last 10 years, this project going to be paid with the insurance premium of example 10 million US dollar. But nowadays, after 20 years, the risk is bigger because the structure going to be weaker already, the lifespan, the turbine, the penstock, they say in the context of hydro, then we have to increase the premium. By how much? That's the most important part. We as a good engineer, we need to advise the insurer. We need to negotiate with the insurer. Then the accountant people will look us, okay, this is very helpful project, so that the OPEX is not going to be bloated lah. All right. Okay, next we talk about the Borneo power grid. Okay, how does this Borneo power grid link to Singapore, Semenanjung? Okay, as a good person also, we need to not just be kind to our neighbor within our compound of house, but we also need to be kind to the countries, which is also our neighbors. Example, for this one is Singapore and Peninsular Malaysia. We are going to be well connected from Sarawak. Okay, and then we also have Brunei, which is under negotiation and linked to Sabah also, and Kalimantan. Kalimantan, for all of us, I think, yeah. Sorry. Okay. All right. So for this Kalimantan, we need to support our Indonesian neighbor because they are building the new capital city, which is Nusantara over there. So there will be a huge, and I see this one, I'm talking to you, it's not just about power export, it's a business opportunity as well. Okay, to talk about this business opportunity, we also can't ignore about how the challenge, for me, about at my age, I still have to go to the site. I can't trust the people or maybe through AI 100%. I still need to get myself sweat to go to the jungle, see how the terrain. If you see this one, all these big pylon, the tower being erected, we can't discount on the any potential landslide. All right. Okay. Then the cabling wire. Okay, cabling wire is not easy. At certain extent, we have to use helicopters. At certain extent, we have to use boat or barge to bring to this one. This is talking about a bit of my little experience to you guys, that we can't, after graduate, we just be a manager like that. So on and off, we have to fly over there. Even at my post now, we still have to take care of the family, also at the same time go to the site to take care of the staff and to take care of the project. All right, on the this is Sarawak Grid Network. Okay, if let's say if I assume your main majority of the participant today are engineers, we need to get ourselves well versed with 132 kV, 275 and 500 kV, all those transmission network, and it come with the competency on their own. Okay. It's not easy. Last time I worked in the power plant, I was asked by my superior to remember. Maybe last time I have to remember because I was at the plant. But to you guys, it's good if you can remember, but it will be better if you remember and you understand. We understand what is the difference between the pylon, between the major substation, they call it PMU, or maybe substation, or maybe PPU. Those kind of things, I think even now I still consult the electrical power engineers. Okay, and then on the generation, this is I must have a reason why I'm showing you this slide. The generation power is around 6 gigawatt capacity. This is a very good opportunity business. And I can see a very good opportunity for us to make money, but we also need to comply with the obligation that we have to take care of the environment. Okay. Okay, we have this electrical power generation capacity that we projected. We need to migrate. You see, the intention is diesel. Diesel is polluting. A lot of subsidy being given, but we need to do the energy transition through gas and fully off the coal power plant and go for solar as well as hydro energy. We see here is actually the expected power generation capacity, 10 gig by 2030, and 2035 is 15 megawatt. So the opportunity for us to do the good business is there. And I believe you guys much younger than myself, the opportunity for the power generation business is abundant. All right. On the new generation, I would love to see this one. If you can see, is actually on the power generation, which is Baleh lah. Okay, Baleh. This is a big dam. I'm also learning a lot about the penstock, about the spillway. Normally the hydropower, they have their own engineers, but no harm for us to consult them. Okay, you can see the structure. The structure engineer will take the big decision to build this structure, and then the geotech people will come in, transmission, the turbine, the generator, the spillway. This is interesting. Okay, I want to bring a lot of motivation to you guys also. Energy is a big business tied to GDP, GNI, and if you can do good to environment, I think we are going to be well blessed. All right. Okay. Apart from that, I'm also would like to share with some project that we indirectly involved. This is Samalaju in Bintulu. Combined cycle power plant. Okay, we'll see the big generation, technology transfer for the turbine from the generator, and then heat recovery steam generator, and then maybe big pylon, big capacitor, main switchboard essential, blah blah. A lot of engineering stuff, a lot of commercial transaction, technology transfer involved. And even for the cabling, I tell you, I'm also keep learning the cable technology, from how many core to how many cores, aluminium type, copper type. These are the things that the technology evolves. So we must keep learning and learning and learning. Doesn't mean we have everything, degree, master, PhD. Okay, we stop learning. We need to keep learning. And important, go to conference, go to exhibition. Okay, sometimes I go to iGEM, I go to SAREF, blah blah like that. International conference, ICW. Let's collaborate and work on this technology. Get our knowledge being polished from day to day lah. Okay. And then, okay, this Northern Grid transmission, as I mentioned just now, they have this voltage drop. I'm not an electrical engineer, but I think I can speak the similar language to the technical terms with the transmission network engineer. Like today, I had a meeting with the competent engineer for 275 and 512 kV. So it takes a motivation for me to learn, and then only I can listen to them, I can learn from them, I can exchange idea with them how to do the transmission network. Because transmission network is a good business actually, where in Malaysia and in ASEAN is a big opportunity that can be ventured. Okay. Next, also on the MIRI project, okay, I visited the plant. It's involved multiple nationalities involved, with Japanese, with Chinese. So it's interesting fact as well. We learn about how the gas pipeline, where the chemical engineers say this is a mother station, this is FSRU, this is RGT terminal, this is how the pipeline. It's interesting lah. Let's keep ourselves enjoyable about our career, and then listen to people. It's interesting. And the environmental engineer comes say, oh, Karudin, this one we have the HRSG, and this one we have the electrostatic precipitator. Then I start to talk about the particulate matter, unburned carbon, or how much, complete combustion, closed cycle or open cycle. I think if you guys from mechanical, then we learn about Carnot cycle, Rankine cycle. This is very important. A lot of heat exchanger also important here. And let's say you guys coming from a civil engineers background, oh, a lot of foundation, substructure work, soil leveling, flood level, or maybe invert level will be involved lah. If you guys coming from chemical engineers, you talk about the gas quality. If you guys coming on the from electrical engineer, you talk about a transformer, generator, what's the discharge, power quality, power factor, harmonics, and so on lah. Okay, it took me about what 20 years till now, 20 plus years to learn all these things, and I think is it's good to point out that we still have to learn more knowledge lah, because knowledge ties with the new technology which keep coming. Okay. Okay, I believe one day you guys not just wanted to talk about technical, but you want to go for corporate ladder. Okay, that's why I'm sharing with you guys for the remaining of the slide a little bit. This is high level commitment. Country need leaders, and leaders need to be a technocrat and technology savvy. We also need to have leaders which also have a business acumen, so technical and commercial. So this is important. We want to make sure not just Malaysian, but world countries, all right, world countries going for this ASEAN Energy Corporation, IGAT, they say Thailand, PLN, blah, blah, like that. Well versed with ASEAN Power Grid, and we inherit the right and the superb knowledge from our previous and current leaders. So one day we all pray hard that we'll be a good leaders, or maybe the top managers, CEO, COO, CTO, or maybe Chief Finance Officer. And now with my organization, we have investment officer also. We need to be well versed with different countries, different frequency of the rating, example, different policy on insurance, different peak load, different duct curve. Okay, so get ourselves knowledgeable on this one. That's why you all go for master of engineering management, something like that. And then ASEAN Energy Milestone, every year I love to read whatever happening lah with the ASEAN community. Apart from Malaysia being the championship now, we see how much the KPI being achieved, right? And then ASEAN Power Grid here, this is the most right-hand side, which is very important. We see every country's put together a commitment. I also strongly encourage study on this book lah, area. Okay, this is important. ASEAN members for the multilateral power trade and ASEAN Power Grid institution. I think one day, if you guys got an opportunity to be on board for this area, minimum you try to read this one. I strongly encourage for you to flip through. Even nowadays, you can Google for this information on the summary note as well. Okay, good. Okay, on the ASEAN Power Grid capacity, okay, this ASEAN Power Grid, we need to know lah who and who inside this ASEAN Power Grid important players. Apart from the countries, let's say TMB, IGAT, PLN, like that, we also should thankful lah to ADB, ASEAN Development Bank, World Bank Group also, and other banks from China, from Japan, maybe Korean also. They also would love to jointly fund the project. So we can consider them to jointly fund with Malaysian Bank also as a local institution and foreign institution. This is a good business market. Sometimes it's not necessary for you to be rich, not to borrow others, but to be prudent and energy security, you need to borrow with others. So that's how energy security plays the equation, right? Okay, next, as what I mentioned just now, area is very, very highly well recommended to be studied. And for your info, people will ask, what have been achieved for the ASEAN Power Grid? A lot of deliverables that they achieved already. And I also encourage you guys to flip through the MOU of the ASEAN Power Grid, where it's all being signed. I saw this document actually on public domain. you can Google on the MOU of the ASEAN Power Grid. It's all by full signature by all the representative countries. This is how we do the framework of the commitment with multiple countries. We need to make sure um, not just Malaysian fronting, but we also need to take care the countries which is neighboring. Okay, what are the assistance that they need? Okay, why I'm saying this one? Because I wish one day Malaysian or maybe Indonesian or Thailand, which have their own strength, would keep exchange the knowledge, keep exchange the expertise, as well as technology transfer to other neighboring countries. Let's say we are going to champion on the transmission for 512 kV. So let's talk with other neighboring countries so that we can partner with their countries to develop the project. Okay, on the power exchange agreement and interconnection, okay, this is a lot of work that have been done by our previous and current ministerial ASEAN Energy Minister meeting that we have to so-called like bring the consensus. We don't want every minister change or bring different game. This is not right lah. So I believe something good need to be cascade down from the top level of the leaders to the so-called like director general, and then up to the ministerial plus the companies level at the private sector. Okay, you can see here. Oh, so plenty of opportunity for the current transmission line versus the future transmission line. Okay, I explained a bit. Okay, I recap just now a bit. Okay, on the risk one, regulatory and policy risk, in my humble opinion, for the ASEAN Power Grid, it poses the highest priority. We need to do this one comply because of involve multiple countries. All right. Impact, we might be given no connection between countries. All right. Okay. Key risk in renewable energy project. And number two, grid and power system risk. Okay. Commercial and market risk. Sometimes the neighboring countries unable to do the interconnection. So the project, example, the north part is unable to be connected. How can the southern part of the countries able to receive the electricity? So this is not connected. So get well versed with the commercial sentiment, commercial strength, and commercial weakness of the project inter countries. Okay, financing and investment risk. This one is for sure. Financing investment risk. Some people want to be a venture capitalist. Some people want to do the strategic positioning. Example, China or maybe Japan coming in. They might be not just fully investment risk appetite, but they want to position their technology. So next we move on technical and technology risk. Technology evolve. Let's say last time we have different type of transformer. Now we have a better type of transformer, which is more sustainable and resilient to the environmental changes. But at the end of the day, we need to pay for what we have better. Nothing comes free in this life. So we need to balance between the CapEx as well as OpEx. Okay, environmental and climate risk. Okay, as what I mentioned, different countries may pose different risks, different rule and regulation on environmental as well as climate risk on the net zero commitment. Malaysian net zero not exactly not the same as the Indonesian versus the Thailand. Okay, we also have social and stakeholder risk. Social means the receptivity of the local indigenous people or native people. We need to take care of them by having a public hearing, example. Stakeholder risk, change of the stakeholder in the company will be different. They say now we have TMB, EGAP, PLN, two different stakeholders. How many shareholder? 30, 70, government, non-government. Once they change, we'll be giving the different resolution in their board meeting. Will turn better or turn sour in the project lah. Okay. Next is construction and delivery risk. This is important. Where any project, we need to buy insurance. I say, not to say I want to promote who underwriters, but let's say the insurer in Malaysia and insurer brokerage house in Malaysia may not be applied or maybe may not be valid to those in Indonesia or in Thailand. As an engineer or as a professional, you need to buy professional indemnity insurance. This is a must, and one of the reasons I highly encourage you guys to be registered. Okay, operational risk is actually during the plant operation, like plant availability, asset reliability, operation and maintenance, spare part, long-term supply agreement, fuel supply is very important. You see now the Iran war coming up, the Hormuz Straits, this fuel supply as important parameters under the operational risk. Cybersecurity, I believe you guys also study the cyber attack. Okay, and then extreme weather resilient. Can you imagine if we have this El Nino, La Nina, blah blah like that? This one will expedite the precipitation, and at the end of the day, the water level dam is lower, then the turbine cannot generate a lot of higher electricity. And then geopolitical and ASEAN power grid. Okay, bear in mind, any changes of the political top down from the one party A to party B intra-countries or inter-countries will be affecting on the geopolitical. This is how the China dominant, the Indian counterpart countries also dominant, as well as maybe EU dominant come in to disturb the geopolitical stability. Okay, apart from that, it's actually we need to know the risk heat map lah. All right. I would love everybody also noted like okay at the end of this lecture, oh there is a risk heat map. Let's say for Malaysia as well as ASEAN public. Okay, I tell you, this is what I showed is actually a kind of sample and simulation. Maybe for hydro, the risk heat map will be different. Hydro in Peninsula versus hydro in Sarawak, hydro in Sabah will be different. And definitely hydro in Indonesia will be different. I've test run this one because we have a few investment target within the ASEAN country. The risk heat map definitely will be different. And then risk level guide, different project, different level of the project. Some companies, if the risk exceed 25%, then they will exit. But some countries that are desperate for project, they even will chew up to 30% risk hit on the red color, they still proceed. Okay. I think from today, almost 1 hour, I've spoken on the renewable energy project. I do hope we cover about RE project development in Malaysia as well as neighboring countries. And then risk mapping, again, I mentioned just now, we need to get well versed, risk engineer, but we also need to talk with the other stakeholders like financiers, investors, regulators, or maybe shareholders. Okay, regulatory framework and industry best practice, this is important. We can't keep going do the project, but at the end of the day, we have received a penalty fee from the authorities. And at the end of the day, the insurer will run away from our project, or maybe the banker will start pull their handbrake that the project will get stuck. Touch wood on this one. And then opportunities and challenges. Okay, I told you just now, I would love to portray that from this session, the future of the RE business is not just building the solar, but you can see, let's say you become an insurer. Okay, there is opportunity. You become a banker. You become a network pylon engineer. Also can. You become a soil engineer doing this geotech. Also opportunity. Or if you become a lawyer. Okay, there is inter-countries legal. Maybe you can talk about instead of legal court caveat or court order or court injunction, maybe we would love to listen on the arbitration instead, or maybe a G2G collaboration or G2G MOU, MOA, or head of agreement, head of terms. These are the lingo that we would love to get ourselves well equipped in the future. And then the challenge is tied to the risk, but risk always well prepared ourselves for the mitigation. And then we need to consult other people as well, so that our decision is well informed. I think I'm sharp on 9 o'clock. Maybe I can open for some Q&A. Maybe if there is Q&A.
Yes.
Yeah, please. I need to be sharp to you guys because I know like you guys also have some other commitment for tomorrow morning or whatever. Yeah, any Q&A or maybe some comment?
Hello.
How is it so far, my presentation, guys?
Yeah, it's good, sir. So
May I know
I
what's
would.
your name? May I know what's your name?
Okay. My name is Bintang from the Energy Management class. So I
Bintang
would
from
like
Indonesia, I believe.
from Indonesia, yes,
Good.
from PLN.
Oh,
So
that's good.
I would like to ask that
Mm.
I found that AM Corp is an investment holding company that provides financial services, yeah.
Yeah.
And what I want to ask is currently the renewable energy source like solar powered batteries are still expensive. And in my case, when I calculating the IRR or NPV, most of the renewable projects are not financially feasible.
Mm.
So based on your experience, is there any consideration that AM Corp takes into account when deciding whether the renewable energy project is worth funding? Or perhaps risk assessment can be a significant factor in the decision making for the IM Corp.
Okay, I captured two questions here. First is actually about the financing side. Okay, the recipe of this project to make it less expensive forever, we need to bring angel investor, right? We need to bring angel investor, not just venture capitalists, and not all project we need to do borrowing 100%. Sometimes we need to use internal cash, or maybe we use the grant from the government grant, or maybe we use the government guarantee, so that the interest rate will be lower, then the cost of financing will be cheaper, then the project have better IRR or NPV in future. Apart from that, the board of director composition is also important. Let's say you're coming from PLN. If the government of Indonesia is serious about this one, you may be able to raise a bond or sukuk, Islamic MTN, medium term note, something like that, so that the project will be bankable. Or there is another way actually, which is you can prolong the PPA, power purchase agreement, so that the investors see, oh, this is a long-term stretch of investment, so I no need to exit faster, I no need to be greedy, but I can have a constant and secured over the, instead of 21 years, I stretch to 30 years plus another 10 years, which is equivalent to 40 years. That's the formula, and I would love to speak and share maybe to you again, Mr. Bintang. You're coming from a very good opportunity countries, abundance of the project, but you're also contributing a lot to the world, which is from the coal as well as Pertamina. Okay, that's the first question. The second question is on the risk side. Okay, risk, there is always, we need to produce the risk register. First of all, once you tabulate the risk, then after that, we must couple with the risk mitigation. From here, we need to talk to the risk adjuster, risk brokering house, so that they review our project as a mitigated project, well prepared the risk, so that they don't charge us a very high premium on the risk contribution yearly. So this is how I view things. I hope I answered your two questions.
Thank you, IR Kaha.
Yes.
Can I make an announcement that all the participants need to share their attendance? Can we unshare the slide for a while?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, TS, are you? Okay, please scan the code for your attendance and e-cert. Is there any other questions?
Yeah. I
Okay,
have a
proceed.
question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. I'm Praditya. It's a related question with my fellow before. So, if I'm not mistaken, MCorp is have a role as a IPP as well,
Yeah, yeah.
and you have a role to be a EPC construction as well, yeah, for
Yes.
construction. So, is there any consideration if this project it should be uh, handled by MCorp for the construction until COD, or it's only for financing because of you are affiliated with MBank as well, yeah, if
Yeah,
I'm not
correct.
mistaken, yeah.
Yes, correct.
So how do you can make a decision about that? Because of if I read in the website as well, your business, another business is a properties. So I think it's quite different animal between renewable energy and this kind of properties. So this is my question. Thank
All
you.
right, good. Thank you, sir. All right. Okay. To be honest, this is I'm an employee, all right. I have an employer. I have the shareholders. All right. We are public listed companies, Malaysia as well overseas. Okay. Last time the economy is actually about the development of these properties, asset in London, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Japan, blah blah like that. So from the profit there, we channel to our obligation as big conglomerate lah in Malaysia. We do this project financing, and this project financing we do in-house project financing, meaning to say we use our own cash, which minimal intervention of the bank funding our project. So what I'm trying to say is actually after certain extent, after certain years in the market, MCOP want to do the business diversification. All right, we merger into other business, example hotels. We also do a renewable energy plant. We need to do that divestment and diversification of the revenue apart from banking also. So all these parameters come into equation so that we don't put everything under one basket, in one basket. So this is how I view things. But for some project, we may not be able to come as the EPCC by our own, banker and by our own. No, some project we just be a banker. Some project we just be a project owner. Some project we just be EPCC. Some project we just be a lender. Okay, to your company example. So we don't want to pow everything. We don't want to grab everything. We don't want to be greedy, but we always talk about the risk. Okay, if for the risk we found like the risk for project A by doing EPCC is the lowest, we'll do the EPCC. But for the risk which is lower for project B becoming a project owner, will be the project owner. Or sometimes we partner with other people. The way business trend is actually not about I do it alone by my own. I can see from my organization, from my companies which I work with now, it's all about sharing and partnership. This is the way I see. And I think SDG 18, if I'm not mistaken, is all about partnership. SDG, Sustainable Development Goal number 18, is about partnership. So that's how the business work. And maybe I always would love to share this one. The first rule of business is actually not about profit. The first rule of business is about trust. So we need to trust each other, respect each other. Then normally the flow of the good karma will come with the profits. That's how I can share. All right. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Your name, sir? Sorry.
My name is Praditya.
Okay. You are from where, Mr. Pra?
Indonesia as well.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Nice country, nice people, nice food as well.
Can we have one final question?
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Rizky.
Mr. Jordala is okay.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okay.
Good evening,
Awesome.
sir. Yeah, my name is Jorda from PLN.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Jordan, please.
Yeah, okay. About the ASEAN Power Grid. Yeah. For the ASEAN Power Grid, yeah. What is more difficult to harmonize? Is it technical grid codes or commercial rules such as wheeling charge and power trading agreements like PPA or what else? Yeah.
All right. Okay, if I can correctly understood, it's actually about asset power grid. You're asking me, and then there are a few parameters: system access charge, and then tolling fee. More or less, people term as that way. And then PPA like that. To me, I can't conclude which one is tough or what. But everything tied to PPA, power purchase agreement, which we are obligated to sign with PLN or TMB or IGAT lah in this case. Okay, PPA tied to tariff. All right, tariff normally will link with the bankers lah because they want to know the ROI, IRR, break-even point, and then insurance premium, warranty, blah blah like that. That's how I view and the PPA system as such as system SAC system assess charges or they call it wheeling toll fee. This one inter countries. That one is normally G2G going to decide. Okay, but to decide on the SAC or wheeling fee, the technical engineers must come in because we need to produce good power quality. Example from the Laos or from Thailand, go through Malaysia to maybe Batam or maybe through go to Medan or maybe go to Nusantara. So that is the power quality that we expect. Power harmonics need to be a certain quality which is acceptable inter countries. The frequency between inter countries interconnection is a big hurdle. Example here, you see the northern part of peninsula tied to the southern part of Thailand. There are two different set of configuration that we have to tie to. Same goes to southern part of Malaysia to the Singapore counterpart will be different. Singapore tied to Batam will be different configuration. So these are the things that I think technical plus commercial engineer have to sit down together. Apart from that, nowadays we have a lot of data center. The power cable is always run parallel with data cable. So my suggestion is actually sharing about the right of way. Right of way, we can't have so many pylon, blah blah like that. The sharing of right of way and principle of partnership is important. I think in Malaysia, well done. We have a common consensus on the OST lah, one-stop center for any big development project. But I think Indonesia and Thailand counterpart as well as Philippines, they also have this similar project. But to get the agreement is not easy, I tell you. So that's why the tall order, the G2G level agreement directive from the ministerial leaders, and then ASEAN community, ASEAN energy managers, normally they talk in Hapua like that. This is very important so that everybody have the same goal. Whoever, let's say from your side, you provide us with the coal, you provide us with gas, example, we have to give to certain extent is cross subsidy inter countries, not just intra countries, but inter countries. So this is how I view. I hope I answered your Mr. Jordan question.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, Rizky, please proceed. This is the final question.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. So, Assalamualaikum. My name is Rizky, also from PLN, currently taking MBA at Uniten. So, following the first question from my friend also, you are mentioned that the government support such as grants, guarantees, bonds, and investment reduce the financing costs and improve the project bankability. But in emerging market like Indonesia, maybe the geopolitical uncertainty and currency volatility still create a significant risk, particularly when projects are financed in foreign currencies like dollar, but they generate revenues in local currency. So, in your opinion, how should the risk be assessed and mitigate? In addition, what mechanism can government or project developers provide to give lenders sufficient confidence that project will remain bankable throughout its financing period? So, how to ensure the creditor or for the investor still confidence to funding the project investment? Thank you.
Okay, this is very good questions. I think you talk about the grant, bond, project bankability, geopolitical stability, so that the project financing remain stable and steady enough. And now looking at the Indonesia context, local country currency is a very big challenge, I believe, on your rupiah. But I believe, okay, one day is going to be good. Okay, I can answer this one in short. But we also can discuss it further. Okay, actually, in this context, sovereign guarantee fund is very important, I tell you. If your country is doing good, but your sovereign guarantee fund is very good, tied to the gold, example, and then maybe your foreign reserve bank is able to um, come in to co-invest. Example, we call it club deal. Example, in Indonesia we have this BCA, BCA, something like that, and then couple with BSI join hand in hand to finance the project. For example, hydro PLTR or PLT, something like that. Okay, PLTR hydro, something like that. Then you can do joint club deal. That is very important. They call it POC lah. Okay. Apart from that, from sovereign guarantee, we might consider also on the, they call it in accounting, if you are coming from accounting, we do this hedging, they call it. Let's say the interest rate fluctuate like that, then going to spike because of the country rating, blah, blah, like that. We may need to consider on the hedging, this one. If you guys from accountant, maybe you can talk to each other, try to consult on the hedging, okay, to make sure the interest rate is well buffered. Another one is actually for any countries that having this type of constraint, you can pledge to look for the insurance premium, which is not just valid in Indonesia, but also in the insurance will be valid in Malaysia as well, or maybe globally accepted in the Commonwealth countries. So there are few parameters talking about this one. Or maybe you do the country currency, some financing for the local bank, you use rupiah, all right? For some project, which is you can for long term, you can use ringgit, or you can use dollar or something like that. Or maybe you can barter trade for this particular project. Example, we buy use for this project, you welcome the foreign investment, but you paid it through commodity. They call it barter trade inter-countries, by selling, example, coal, or by selling palm oil, or other trades. So these are the things G2G have to be smart. But I would love to share with you this guide in short, because at least you are future leaders. Try to look on these few options. I hope I answered you well, Mr. Rizky.
Okay, thank you. I know some of my friend doing hedging for the final project, so I will ask her lah. Thank you.
All right, welcome. My pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much, all the participants for the questions. And we coming to the end of tonight's session. I would like to express our sincere appreciation to IR Muhammad Kahar Rudin Abdullah for generously sharing his knowledge, experiences, and valuable industry insights with us. I also would like to thank all participants for taking the time to join us this evening and for your active participation throughout the session.